options that I was going to choose from. But reading some of these books as an adult, I'm like, oh, I don't know about that one. So I found a couple that I think will be perfect for this video. So I'm going to be reading 3 different books for you. I'm going to kind of turn around so that you can see the pages a little bit, but try to focus more on the story than you do the pages so that you can fall asleep, okay? So let's begin. So these are the 3 books that we are going to be reading. First, I am going to read to you Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia. And then I'm going to read you Cinder Ellie. Cinder Ellie. I remember reading this book as a kid, and honestly I had kind of forgotten about it, but I saw it at the library and I was like, oh, I remember that book now. So I decided to pick this one up. And then finally, I'm going to be reading Kate and the Beanstalk. This one I do remember pretty vividly, but I didn't think I was going to find it at my library because I didn't think it was that popular of a story, but I was able to find it, so we're going to read that as well. So we are going to start off with Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia. Oh, Amelia Bedelia, your first day of work and I can't be here, but I made a list for you. You do just what the list says, said Miss Rogers. Miss Rogers got into the car with Mr. Rogers. They drove away. My, what nice folks. I'm going to like working here, said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia went inside. Such a grand house. These must be rich folks, but I must get to work. Here I stand just looking, and me with a whole list of things to do. Amelia Bedelia stood there a minute longer. I think I'll make a surprise for them. I'll make lemon meringue pie. I do make good pies. So Amelia Bedelia went into the kitchen. She put a little of this and a pinch of that into a bowl. She mixed and she rolled. Soon her pie was ready to go into the oven. There, said Amelia Bedelia, that's done. I remember reading this as a kid and wanting to make lemon meringue pie so bad. Now, let's see what this list says, Amelia Bedelia read. Change the towels in the green bathroom. Amelia Bedelia found the green bathroom. These towels are very nice. Why change them, she thought. Then Amelia Bedelia remembered what Miss Rogers had said. She must do just what the list told her. Well, all right, said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia got some scissors. She snipped a little here and a little there, and she changed those towels. There, said Amelia Bedelia. She looked at her list again. Dust the furniture. Did you ever hear tell of such a silly thing? At my house, we undust the furniture, but to each his own way. Amelia Bedelia took one last look at the bathroom. She saw a big box with the words dusting powder on it. Well, look at that, a special powder to dust with, exclaimed Amelia Bedelia. So Amelia Bedelia dusted the furniture. That should be dusty enough. My, how nice it smells. I love how her brain works. Draw the drapes when the sun comes in, read Amelia Bedelia. She looked up. The sun was coming in. Amelia Bedelia looked at the list again. Draw the drapes. That's what it says. I'm not much of a hand at drawing, but I'll try. So Amelia Bedelia sat right down and she drew those drapes. Amelia Bedelia marked off about the drapes. Now what? Put the lights out when you finish in the living room. Amelia Bedelia thought about this a minute. She switched off the lights, then she carefully unscrewed each bulb. And Amelia Bedelia put the lights out. So those things need to be aired out too, just like pillows and babies. Oh, I do have a lot to learn. My pie, exclaimed Amelia Bedelia. She hurried to the kitchen. Just right, she said. She took the pie out of the oven and put it on the table to cool. Then she looked at the list. Measure 2 cups of rice. That's next, said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia found 2 cups. She filled them with rice. And Amelia Bedelia measured that rice. Amelia Bedelia laughed. These folks do want me to do funny things. Then she poured the rice back into the container. The meat market will deliver a steak and a chicken. Please trim the fat before you put the steak in the icebox, and please dress the chicken. When the meat arrived, Amelia Bedelia opened the bag. She looked at the steak for a long time. Yes, she said, that will do nicely. Amelia Bedelia got some lace and bits of ribbon, and Amelia Bedelia trimmed that fat before she put the steak in the icebox. Now I must dress the chicken. I wonder what kind of chicken she wants, said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia went right to work. Soon the chicken was finished. Amelia Bedelia heard the door open. The folks are back, she said. She rushed out to meet them. Amelia Bedelia, why are all the light bulbs outside? Asked Mr. Rogers. The list just said to put the lights out, said Amelia Bedelia. It didn't say to bring them back in. Oh, I do hope they didn't get aired too long. Amelia Bedelia, the sun will fade the furniture. I asked you to draw the drapes, said Miss Rogers. I did, see, said Amelia Bedelia. She held up her picture. Then Miss Rogers saw the furniture. The furniture, she cried. Did I dust it well enough? Asked Amelia Bedelia. That's such nice dusting powder. Mr. Rogers went to wash his hands. I say, he called, these are very unusual towels. Miss Rogers dashed into the bathroom. Oh, my best towels, she said. Didn't I change them enough? Asked Amelia Bedelia. She's just over here smiling. Miss Rogers went to the kitchen. I'll cook the dinner. Where is the rice I asked you to measure? I put it back in the container, but I remember it measured 4.5 inches, said Amelia Bedelia. Was the meat delivered? Asked Miss Rogers. Yes, said Amelia Bedelia. I trimmed the fat just like you said. It does look nice. Miss Rogers rushed to the icebox. She opened it. Lace, ribbons. Oh dear, said Miss Rogers. The chicken. You dressed the chicken? Asked Miss Rogers. Yes, and I found the nicest box to put him in, said Amelia Bedelia. Box, exclaimed Miss Rogers. Miss Rogers hurried over to the box. She lifted the lid. There lay the chicken, and he was just as dressed as he could be. Miss Rogers was angry. She was very angry. She opened her mouth. Miss Rogers meant to tell Amelia Bedelia she was fired, but before she could get the words out, Mr. Rogers put something in her mouth. It was so good, Miss Rogers forgot about being angry. Lemon meringue pie, she exclaimed. I made it to surprise you, said Amelia Bedelia happily. So right then and there, Mr. and Mrs. Rogers decided that Amelia Bedelia must stay, and so she did. Miss Rogers learned to say undust the furniture, unlight the lights, close the drapes, and things like that. Mr. Rogers didn't care if Amelia Bedelia trimmed all of his steaks with lace. All he cared about was having her there to make lemon meringue pie. And that is the end of Amelia Bedelia. So now we're going to read our next book. So next we have Kate and the Beanstalk. Kate and the Beanstalk. I remember this story faintly. This is the first time I'm reading it in probably 10 years, so let's have a look. And remember, I'm gonna have the book out like this so you can see the pages, but try to focus on falling asleep, okay? Long ago, a girl named Kate lived with her mother in a humble cottage. One day, after a hard winter, Kate's mother was in despair. We are sure to die from hunger, she said, unless we sell our only cow to get money for food. Kate was a plucky girl who loved to help. Don't worry, she said, giving her mother a hug. I'll take care of everything. And she set out for market with their cow. On the way, Kate met a beggar holding a small sack. Oh, magic beans, the beggar said in a creaky voice. How extraordinary, said Kate when she saw them. For the brown beans shone like dark gold. I don't think I can live without them. They can be yours in exchange for your cow, said the beggar. Without another thought, Kate traded her cow for the beans and rushed home to give them to her mother. But to Kate's surprise, her poor mother was horrified. Our only hope is gone, she cried. Now we will surely starve, and she tossed the beans out the window. Hungry and forlorn, Kate went to bed. During the night, Kate couldn't sleep. She got up and crept into the moonlight garden. She gasped, for in the darkest corner a giant beanstalk rose into the sky. It rose higher and higher and higher, still, till it disappeared behind the clouds. Does it ever end? Whispered Kate. Without waiting for morning, Kate began climbing the beanstalk. She climbed and climbed and climbed, up and up and up. When Kate reached the top, light was creeping into the gray sky. Through a misty haze, she saw the most astonishing sight. Above the clouds was a countryside with fine woods, a crystal stream, a rolling sheep meadow, and a mighty castle. As Kate stared in wonder, an old woman hobbled out of the woods. Hello, said Kate. Is that castle your home? Oh, her outfit is fierce. Okay. No, my dear, the woman replied. It once belonged to a noble knight and his fair wife. They had a small infant and many treasures. But one day, a monstrous giant came to steal from them. He killed the good man and took over his castle. How dreadful, said Kate. Fortunately, the knight's wife and baby were visiting in the valley, said the old woman. Afraid to return home, the grieving widow stayed below to raise her child. But alas, now they are very poor and close to starving. That's so sad, said Kate. Sadder than you know, my dear, replied the old woman. She looked deeply into Kate's eyes. Perhaps you are the one to right the terrible wrongs that have occurred. Me, said Kate. Are you afraid? I don't think so. I fear nothing when I'm doing right. How can I help? Said Kate. The knight had 3 precious treasures: a hen that lays golden eggs, a bag filled with gold coins, coins and the most wondrous harp in all of the world," said the old woman. "If you find these and return them to the knight's widow, then she and her child will not die from hunger." Kate took a deep breath. "I shall try," she said. Kate bid farewell to the old woman, then strode across the sheep meadow. As she approached the castle, a giantess lunged into the early morning light. "Help me," the woman roared. "My husband makes me cook from the cock's crow to the owl's hoot. Whenever I hire servants, he gobbles them up." "I'll be your servant," said Kate, "but you must hide me from the giant." Kate helped the giantess make breakfast until the sun came up. When she heard the giant coming down the hall, she trembled with fear. His footsteps sounded like the booms of a cannon. "Hide," whispered the giantess, and she pushed Kate into a closet. Peeking through the keyhole, Kate watched and listened. Fee, fi, fo, fum. "I smell the blood of an English woman. Be she alive or be she dead, I'll grind her bones to make my bread." What in the world? Okay. "Don't be silly," said the giantess. "You only smell the wagon load of bacon I fried for your breakfast." "Oh," said the giant. When the giant finished eating, he said, "Bring me the knight's hen." The giantess brought out a small brown hen. "Lay," ordered the giant, and the little hen laid a golden egg. "Oh my goodness, why is he so demanding?" "Ha, ha, ha," roared the giant. "I love my lovely little stolen hen." Then he put down his head and fell asleep, snoring as loud as thunder. Girl, I believe it. Ever so quietly, Kate crept out of the closet. She grabbed the hen and rushed from the castle. She ran across the sheep meadow to the beanstalk. Down and down and down she climbed and climbed and climbed until she landed kerplop in the garden. Kate sighed with relief. "It's better if Mother doesn't know of the danger I've been in," she whispered to the hen. "Stay here until I can return you to the knight's poor widow." Kate hid the hen behind a bush, then slipped back inside her house. Kate knew she must disguise herself to return to the castle. That night she dressed in a wig and a beard, crept out to the moonlit garden, and climbed the beanstalk again. Kate climbed and climbed and climbed, up and up and up. In the light before dawn, Kate crossed the sheep meadow and knocked on the castle door. When the giantess came out, she roared, "Help me! I need a servant. The last one stole our hen and ran away." All happened as before. Kate helped the giantess make breakfast until the sun came up. When they heard the giant's booming footsteps and bellowing voice, the giantess hid Kate in the closet. "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an English woman. Be she alive or be she dead, I'll grind her bones to make my bread." "Calm down," said the giantess. "You only smelled the mountain of hash I made you for your breakfast." "Oh," said the giant. When the giant finished eating, he said, "Bring me the knight's money bag." The giantess brought out a bag filled with gold coins, and the giant greedily counted them. "Ha, ha, ha," he roared. "I love my lovely little stolen coins." Soon the giant's head began to nod. Kate watched him fall asleep. Then she crept out and grabbed the money bag. She ran out of the castle and across the sheep meadow to the beanstalk. Down and down and down she climbed and climbed and climbed until she landed kerplop in the garden. "Goodness," said Kate, "what a day. I must hide these coins until I can return them to the knight's poor widow." Kate hid the money bag with the hen, then slipped back inside her house. That night, Kate disguised herself once again and started up the beanstalk. She climbed and climbed and climbed, up and up and up. She ran across the sheep meadow, and just as the sun came up, she knocked on the castle door. When the giantess came out, she grabbed Kate and cried, "Help me! I need a servant. The last one stole our money bag and ran away." Again, all happened as before. Kate helped the giantess make breakfast. Soon the giant's footsteps boomed down the hall, and the giantess hid Kate in the closet. Fee, fi, fo, fo. I smell the blood of an Englishwoman. Be she alive or be she dead, I'll grind her bones to make my bread. You old fool, said the giantess. You only smell the sea of fish soup I made you for your breakfast. Oh, said the giant. When the giant finished his soup, he cried, Bring me the night singing harp. This giant is doing way too much. Sing, bellowed the giant. The harp began to sing a sad, haunting song. It sang of the past, of the noble knight, his lost wife and child, and of golden days and starry nights. The harp's lovely song nearly broke Kate's heart. When the giant fell asleep, she crept out from behind the door, seized the harp, and ran away with it. But the harp was so frightened it sang high, fearful notes. Help me, help me, help me. Quiet, said Kate. I'm going to return you to the knight's poor widow. But the giant had already been awakened. He jumped up, and with a shout he ran after Kate. Kate flew like the wind across the sheep meadow. She grabbed the beanstalk and started down with the harp, the giant fast on her heels. Down and down and down and down. She climbed and climbed and climbed, and the giant climbed and climbed and climbed right after her. As soon as Kate's feet touched the ground, she shouted, Mother, bring the axe, hurry. Kate's mother ran out with the axe, and Kate grabbed it. So, my phone died on me, so we had a little bit of an intermission, but we are back with the story now. Stand back, Mother, Kate cried. With one mighty blow, Kate chopped the beanstalk in two. Down and down it fell, down to the sky, and down fell the giant, whump, down into the garden, breaking his neck. The ground shook like an earthquake. Kate's mother took one look and cried out in horror, That's the giant that killed your father. My father, asked Kate. Before her mother could answer, a fairy approached in a chariot drawn by two peacocks. Greetings, brave Kate, she said. As queen of the fairies, I have long wanted to avenge the treachery done to the good knight. But first, I needed to know if his daughter was worthy of her inheritance. So I disguised myself as both the beggar and the old woman and sent you on your quest to your father's castle. My father's castle? Kate looked at her mother, who nodded. I never spoke of your father after he was slain, Kate's mother said. He would be most proud of you now. Kate hugged her mother, and they wept for the sorrow and wonder of it all. Then they climbed into the chariot and rose through the clouds to the castle that was once again theirs, up and up and up. Kate asked the giantess to stay on as their cook. Thank you for your kindness, said the giantess. Would you like a biscuit and jam? Indeed, said Kate and her mother, and the giantess served them a biscuit as big as a cow. And that is the end of Kate and the Beanstalk. So, I have one last story left. So hopefully by now you're getting really sleepy. And the last story is Cinder Ellie. Once upon a time, or so they tell me, there was a girl called Cinder Ellie. Ellie was good and she was pretty. She lived with her folks in New York City. With Mom and Dad and Sue and Nellie, her sisters were mean to Cinder Ellie. When school let out, they'd watch TV. They'd ask Cinder Ellie to serve iced tea, or else they'd play a video game, but they'd never asked Ellie to do the same. Sometimes when Ellie was washing the floor, they'd slide across it and out the door. What do you think would happen then? Why, Ellie would have to wash it again. Ellie cleaned up because she liked to be neat, from the hair on her head to the toes on her feet. She worked so hard it was a pity she had no fun in New York City. But then one day Elle got a note. So did her sisters. Somebody wrote, "Sue, Elle, and Nellie, we've picked your name. You've won free tickets to a baseball game." "We accept with pleasure," said Sue and Nellie. "And I do too," said Cinder Ellie. Her sisters just looked at her and smiled, and then they said, "You can't go, child." "But I'm invited, it says so there. You're too young, Ellie, and you've nothing to wear." "I'll shop," said Ellie, "but you've no money." Ellie's mother agreed. "They're so right, honey." "What? That's a terrible mother. Just get her a dress or an outfit or whatever she wants to wear." Okay, anyways, let's continue with the story. "There's no money for 3, only money for 2. Let your sisters go, Ellie, they're older than you." Oh, no. I don't know about this parenting style. So Ellie's big sisters went right out shopping, and Ellie stayed home and did the mopping. The night of the game, as Elle watched them go, an old lady came by and said, "Ellie, hello." "Excuse me," said Elle, "but I know all the dangers. I'm never allowed to speak to strangers." "I'm your godmother, Ellie. Don't you recognize me? Last time I saw you, you were 2 or 3. I'm here because we have things to do. Keep your eyes on my cane. I have something for you." She waved her cane once. Elle squealed like a flute. Her clothes had turned into a basketball suit. "And here's something else to go with your clothes. Glass sneakers," said Godma. "You'll need 2 of those." "Now wait, Godmother. Hold on a minute. I'm just watching the game. I don't want to be in it." "Oops," said the lady. "Excuse my mistake. Let's see what else my cane can make." And poof, Ellie wore a satiny shirt with a beautiful flowery red mini skirt. Ellie was happy because she looked so fine. Now go to the game and have a good time. "Thank you, dear Godma. I'm glad that you came. But how am I going to get to the game?" "That's an easy one, dear. I've got a plan. I'll send you off on this old garbage can." She waved her cane and said, "Kerplike." The garbage can became a bike. Elle got right on and almost fell off, because riding a bike in glass sneakers is tough. "You'll be fine, Elle. I know that is true. There's just one thing I ask of you. Be home by 10, or else, my dear, your pretty new clothes will disappear." "No problem," purred Ellie, as sweet as a kitty. Then she rode off through New York City. The game was just starting when Elle got to her seat. Out ran Prince Charming. People rose to their feet. "Let's go, Prince Charming," Elle yelled with the rest. Of all her school's players, Prince was the best. Prince was passing the ball, but he looked at the stands. Boom! Some huge guy knocked the ball from his hands. Ellie stood on her toes and raised her arms fast. She caught that ball before it flew past. "Hooray!" yelled the crowd, except Sue and Nellie. The sisters just stared at Cinder Ellie. "Is that Ellie?" asked Sue. "No, that's a bad guess. She's older than Ellie and much better dressed." "Here's the ball," Ellie shouted as she threw it up high. "In the future, be careful." "Thanks, miss. I'll try." Prince stared at Ellie and said, "Glad to meet ya. After the game, let's go get some pizza." "What's your name?" he asked. "I can't tell you, I fear," for Elle was afraid that her sisters might hear. When the game ended, the other side clapped. They were good sports, even though they got zapped. "Will you wait for me, please?" Prince stopped by Elle's chair. "I'll shower and change and blow dry my hair." Oh my gosh, that'll take forever. Elle stayed till the clock blinked 9:58. In 2 more minutes, she would be late. She got up and ran. It's sad, but it's true. A lace came undone, and she lost a glass shoe. But she couldn't stop now, so she hurried on. All she saw was a trash can. Her bike was gone. Ellie waved at the can, and she said, "Kerplike," but the can wouldn't change back into a bike. Then she looked at her clothes. Oh no, they're the same as the ones I was wearing before Godmother came. She waved at her clothes. Poof, they didn't change either. Where's Godma, she wondered, now that I need her. Meanwhile, Prince Charming, looking pretty cool, was busy signing photos for the fans at school. When he was finished, he looked all about. Ellie wasn't inside, so Prince went out. Outside, he saw no one, just some girl who ran off down the street with a huge garbage can. But on the steps, he spied one sparkly shoe. This sneaker, said Charming, gives me a clue. Next morning, Cinder Ellie tried giving Prince a call, but his number wasn't listed in the book at all. At the same time, Charming sat at a table. He drew the sneaker as well as he was able. Beneath it, he wrote, for all to see, if you lost this sneaker, please telephone me. Then he wrote his name and phone number too. He went to the copy shop to print a few. Prince taped his copies once they were complete to every single lamppost on that busy street. Many women phoned him with feet too big or small. Prince Charming wasn't happy. Won't the right one ever call? Hey gang, look out. Here's Sue. Here's Nellie, with the poster to show to Cinder Ellie. Let's call up Prince, said Sue and Nellie. That's not your shoe, said Cinder Ellie. Oh no, they said, but we'll try it since. How else could we ever meet a real-life prince? They phoned Prince Charming, and just as they planned, he dropped in to visit with the sneaker in hand. Prince was surprised by Nellie and Sue. He said, I don't remember either of you. Sue tried the shoe and fell down flat. Poor Sue laughed now. Next, Nellie tried and went into a tizzy. The shoe was so tight it made her feel dizzy. Then Ellie came out from where she'd been looking. Her sisters yelled, Ellie, go back to your cooking. Cinder Ellie sat down and put on the shoe. Then she took out the other and put that one on too. Excuse me, called someone. May I come in? Please do, said Ellie. Godma, where have you been? I've been busy, she answered, but I know my duty to see Cinder Ellie and her friend Prince Cutie. Prince Charming, he corrected. Well, how do you do? It's time you saw Ellie in the clothes that you knew. Poof, poof, she waved. Ellie's clothes became the one she had worn to the basketball game. Yikes, screamed the sisters. Shush, Godmother told them. You deserve a good scolding, and she started to scold them. You're forgiven, said Ellie. I'm sure that you've seen that it's awfully wrong to be terribly mean. You're right, Cinder Ellie, and we promise we know it. If we ever feel mean again, we just won't show it. Prince said to Ellie, let's go spread the news. Wait, Prince, said Ellie, till I change my shoes. They walked down the street, holding hands, pretty snappy.